Later today, Eagles tight end Dallas Goedert will be suiting up for the Super Bowl. He has made headlines this week talking about having a great performance to help his team earn another ring. He'll be living out a childhood dream when he takes the field in Glendale. But a decade ago, this opportunity looked like it was just going to be that, a dream, as Goddard's football playing career was up in the air. This story is about a boy who went from a walk-on at the FCS level to a Super Bowl starter. This is the Dallas Goedert story. Dallas Goedert was born on January 3rd, 1995 and grew up in Britain, South Dakota. Ironically, his father's favorite team growing up is the Philadelphia Eagles' arch rivals, the Dallas Cowboys, which Goedert is named after. He was a special athlete setting state swimming records at the age of 7 and could ride on a 6-foot unicycle and juggle, a family legacy which he believes helped him become a better football player due to the core strength and coordination needed. He tried out for a semi-pro baseball team as a kid but didn't make the cut, and he dominated in track and field without formal training. Dallas played football, soccer, and basketball growing up and went on to play all three sports in high school. Growing up, Goedert dreamed about playing professional sports, telling NBC Sports, "Growing up, I probably wanted to be in the NBA just as much as the NFL. But that dream got shot down earlier than football, obviously. I played all the sports I could as a kid. I was just a super competitive guy. So whatever sport I could get into, that's what I was doing. It didn't matter swimming, soccer, baseball, football, basketball. Whatever I could play, I would play games just so I could compete." Dallas comes from such a small town that the football team only had 9 players and it took over 2 minutes to tour the whole town. The only traffic light is a flasher in the middle of the town. The nearest McDonald's is an hour away, though there is a Subway and a summer-only ice cream stand. There are no malls or movie theaters for miles in every direction, just farms, lakes, and game reserves. Goedert was a star football player for Britain Hecla High School, and his high school coach tried to always get the ball in his hands. He started as a Cam Newton-esque quarterback at first, but had yet to develop the physical tools to thrive in that position. He then began to slide all over the offense and defense, being used in multiple ways. In the red zone, Goedert could usually be found at wide receiver, with his high school coach telling Bleacher Report, "We just send him into the end zone for jump balls, and he could jump higher than anyone. He was our go-to guy." But the trouble was that everybody knew that. They would put 2 or 3 guys on him. If recruiters came to watch Goedert play 9-on-9 football on 80-yard fields, they would be more likely to see him getting triple teamed than scoring touchdowns. And the Britain region is lightly recruited, even by local colleges. Goedert was a 3-time all-conference selection for both football and basketball, serving as team captains for both, and finished as honorable mention All-State 2 times for football. As his high school career came to an end, basketball seemed like the sport that would provide Goedert the best opportunity to continue competing in college. He had received a few Division II offers from local schools, but the world works in mysterious ways, and Goedert would experience a "what are the odds" moment. Carl Larson was a former coaching colleague of South Dakota State head coach John Stiglmeyer. Larson had become a Lutheran minister and happened to be a pastor in Millbank, a 3,000-citizen metropolis not far from Britain. Larson took in a Britain Hecla football game and took notice of Goedert. Larson told Bleacher Report, when they were going to run the ball, Dallas played halfback or I-back. When they were going to throw the ball, they put him out at wide receiver. You could tell where the ball was going from where he was at. And he was the middle linebacker on defense. When he hit guys, you could see the ball carrier's neck snap back. Larson called his old coaching buddy, and Stig sought out game film of Goedert, but the tapes were so awful due to them being super blurry that he could not see what was going on. Stig told Bleacher Report they didn't have a filming budget. They probably had some freshmen in the stands. Goedert's high school coach joked that the games might have been filmed by 7th grade girls with camcorders. Stig decided to attend one of Dallas's high school basketball games, but came away unimpressed. He explained, "Here's the biggest guy on the court, and he's shooting 3-pointers. I told Dallas that he never went and got a rebound, and he joked about it. Well, if you make them all, you don't have to go get rebounds, coach. But I thought he didn't play with as much passion as I hoped he would." Goedert did everything he could to stand out from the crowd in his corner of South Dakota, but it remained a region where he could win basketball games without rebounding, win track meets without practicing, and leave the soccer goal unattended without consequence. It seemed like Goedert's opportunity to play Division I football had dissipated. That was until Goedert and Larson's paths crossed once again. Larson was volunteering at local track meets in the spring and usually supervised the throwers. He recalled, "Here comes Dallas. Everybody's throwing around 100 to 120 feet, but he rips it out there. Power throws it about 150 feet. So I called JR again. This time, Goedert was offered a walk-on spot for the Jackrabbits football team. When Dallas got to South Dakota State, he was moved to the tight end position. At this time in his career, he had never played tight end and dealt with the learning curve, but did everything he could do to learn how to play the position at a high level. Goedert told NBC Sports, "I didn't really start playing tight end until college. When I got to college, I just looked up different tight end weights and their 40 times. I didn't know a lot about the position. Early in my career, walking on to South Dakota State, it was a dream of mine, but it was a big dream to make it to the NFL, so it was a lot of work to do." He told Bleacher Report, "Being a walk-on, you have to work harder to earn your spot. The higher-rated recruits settle in right away. But if I settled in, I probably would have gotten kicked off the team. Going in and working hard from the start definitely helped me. Coaches said I had the body style and frame of an NFL tight end. So I started looking up tight ends online, comparing their times to my times, their size to what I thought I could be." Goedert redshirted for a year and then spent 2 more years as a role player while he learned to be more than an all-purpose athlete who dominated every small-town field. In 2014, he led the tight end room with 8 catches for 100 receiving yards, and the following season he earned first-team All-Missouri Valley honors, starting 10 games, recording 26 receptions for 484 yards and 3 touchdowns. It took time for him to develop, with Stig telling Bleacher Report he was a small-school guy who had to find himself. Dallas has never lacked confidence, but he wasn't ready to compete initially. Going into Dallas's junior season in 2016, the staff started drawing up plays for their soon-to-be star tight end. They worried they were asking him to do too much, but he seemingly got better the more and more they asked of him to do. During the 2016 season, Dallas started to go viral for a one-handed grab against Drake, with Mike Tanier writing back in 2018, "The Catch," a 2016 early season one-handed snatch of a back-of-the-end-zone fade. Looked like the scene from an off-Broadway production of Odell Beckham Jr.'s The Musical. The Drake South Dakota State game stopped so the crowd could admire it on the jumbo screen. Even the Drake bench applauded. The catch went viral and made every highlight montage worth broadcasting. It catapulted Goedert from small-town sports hero to local celebrity. Dallas was getting calls from everybody, and his mother heard everybody talking about it back home. Although he was still technically number 2 on the depth chart, he lined up all over the field and finished with 92 receptions for 1,293 yards and 11 touchdowns. It was a unanimous All-American selection and finalist for the Stats FCS Walter Payton Award. Scouts were coming to Brookings to take a look at the Jackrabbits start player. Stig told Bleacher Report, "Late in his junior year, a scout asked me if Dallas was going to come out early. I'd never heard those words before. I'd never thought about it. I said, 'What do you mean?' He decided to return to South Dakota State for his senior season, racking up 1,111 yards and 7 touchdowns on 72 receptions, cementing himself as one of the top tight ends for the 2018 draft class. Some talked about him possibly going in the first round of the NFL draft, but instead he would be taken by the Philadelphia Eagles in the second round after they traded up with the Indianapolis Colts. He was the 3rd tight end taken that year. In 5 seasons, he's caught 248 passes for 2,997 yards and 19 touchdowns. He missed 5 games due to injury this year, but still finished with 55 receptions for 702 yards. He is on his 2nd contract with the Eagles after signing a 4-year extension last season, and looks to be a major threat in the passing game for the Eagles in the Super Bowl after working on his route running this past offseason. With so much of the focus trained on Hurts, Brown, Smith, and Philadelphia's stable of running backs, Goedert might be able to operate in the shadows, ready to strike at the perfect moment. He plans to do whatever it takes to help his team win the Super Bowl, whether that is in the running game or pass game. Goedert grew up so well-rounded that he was almost overlooked. It forced him to take a long, strange journey to the Super Bowl, but has resulted in a story straight out of a movie script. But what do you think? Who will win Super Bowl MVP? Let me know in the comment section below. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to check out one of my other videos right here. Don't forget to leave a like and to subscribe for more college football content. Thank you so much for watching. I could not be more thankful for y'all. You guys make this all possible for me, and as always, remember to embrace the grind.